when we think about the the creator, if you follow my last story, you can understand what I mean by the creator, the supreme entity of everything, right? When that created, it was one, meaning everything comes from one. Everything that exists in this whole reality of us being conscious of it came from one source. Many different things from one source. So when you think of that in the simplicity of what love is oneness. Simple as that. Oneness. Two together, one. Three together, one. Billions together, one. Right? But this collective into this reality is split into a different conscious, a perception of that. Meaning we all come from one, but then becoming multiple things, we don't want to unite back into that oneness that we know we come from. The reason that is because the illusion of the ego, the separation of us being two different people now creates the illusion that there is separate types of love. There's a separation between you and I, when you and I are both just the I. And in this reality, we agree to be individuals, to see the eyes and to recognize them and appreciate the differences that are from the same source of the oneness. This understanding is the basis of true polygamy, meaning love is not to be caged, love is not to be jealous, love is not to be confined, love is not meant to be conditional, right? And with that, that goes a long way into how that does not necessarily equate a monogamous relationship. Another point, if the supreme being, God, or the creator, was a monogamous, how would this then play out into the world? There would be certain people who's choosing to have love and certain people are not. Certain people who feel worthy and appreciated and those who will not. That selfishness is not how the world was created, nor was it an intention for the world being created. Now, this complexity for anybody who's an individual is too much to grip because we're not made to want to love everything, yet we are. And the isolation of our love then becomes in two type of different categories. You can have intimacy type of love, and then you have unconditional type of love. Now, to further my point in life, how you just never just love one person. If you have children, and if you have multiple children, do you love those children differently? Do you love those children differently than you love your spouse, or your parents, or your closest friends? And if you do, then you shouldn't. There should only be one type of love, but yet we have several different examples of different type of loves which we all are engaging in at once. The only difference being there's one type of love to where you're fucking and the other you're not. Which one is defined as the true love? You guessed it, they both are. So then, what does that mean? Does that mean that love itself is isolated to just one partner? No, it doesn't, because it's not even monogamous in that situation. So leaving it into that context and taking it into a relationship context, if you have two people that agree that they are in a committed relationship with each other and only each other, then they create the bond of becoming one. Simple as that. If you have three people who commit to each other on the connection of connecting to each other in agreement with no jealous, no misunderstanding, no separation of love, then you have polygamy. Both reasonable, both logical, and both possible. Both come with their limits, both come with their problems. Neither is exempt from the other. So to say one is more practical and reasonable than the other would be a lie, because there are examples of monogamy working and there are examples of polygamy working. The difference is the set of people who practices them.